My name is Harvey. I'm here in Seattle. I am actually a full-time student, and I'm actually homeless right now. I'm looking for a job, and I'm out here and to show solidarity to the movement, because it impacts all of us. We have rich, we have poor, we have working class out here, we have homeless people out here. So this is a great movement, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But the really the main reason that I'm out here is the reason I wrote this sign is that we have big business, big banking, and the big government out here. They have consolidated the wealth in this country, and now they are set to move to oppress their own people. And I hope that this message get out and people wake up. The American people really wake up and don't look at race anymore. Get past all that racism, discrimination. Let's get past all that, because the only people that we have a problem with today is the people out there in Washington, D.C. and Bank of America, Chase, and all these other big conglomerates that's taking all of our money. Thank you.
My name is Josh Harper, and I'm here to protest the corporate greed and the lack of responsibility of corporate America to the workers who make their profits possible. I believe that the reason that I'm here is because I believe the message needs to be that we need to evolve as a civilization from one driven solely by profit and greed to one driven by personal interests and personal growth and societal interests and societal growth. And I think the way that we do that is by everybody pitching in, paying their taxes, doing their share, from the 51% who doesn't pay taxes right now because they don't make enough money, to the 1% who doesn't pay taxes right now because they can avoid taxes through all the loopholes. I think that taxes are the cost of civilization, and if you want to live in a civilization, you have to contribute to it. And all the money in the world won't keep you safe if people are starving to death, if people can't have the same quality of life that their parents have. And I feel like right now the right and corporate interests are killing the American dream. And I will not have a high quality of life as my parents, and my children will have a lower quality of life than mine. When does it stop? Hopefully it stops here.
I'm Linda, and I came because I do a lot of online advocacy, but there's a time when you have to put your feet on the street. And the word's been going out that the only people here are young hippies, and that's not true. I'm 70, and I have a lot at stake in what they are fighting for here, because I see the power of too much money controlling our politics. I see the growing inequality gap. I see people and families who have no health insurance and are just an accident away from the devastation. And we need to be heard, and we need to do what we can to change that.
Okay, I'm Max, and the reason I'm here is because these are bread and butter issues. I feel that if they're going to have tax breaks for companies, they should give them to companies that keep the jobs here, not that send jobs overseas, because they get cheaper when they go overseas. The jobs, they don't need a second break. The companies that really need the break are the ones that keep jobs here. And also, many people are unhappy because a lot of the banks were bailed out, but they did not show the same kindness to people that were behind on their mortgage payment. This is a bread and butter issue.
Basically, I'm here because the system in particular has been very oppressive to the communities I'm from, which is lower proletariat, working class background, and it's been used as a form of tyranny and oppression towards people in my background or similar backgrounds. And I'm out here because I can see this movement changing into a movement that totally restructures and dismantles the old and builds anew.
So I'm here because I wanted to bring the Occupy Seattle movement to the attention of many more of the people who are part of the 99% who don't show up here. So I brought a group of interfaith ministers here to pray, to offer the sense that people have been struggling for justice for about 4,000 years that we have recorded history of it, maybe 5,000, and the same things come back again and again, and the same message comes back. The divine unfolding wants justice, wants fairness, wants equality for human beings, and the treasuring of human gifts, not a sense of Pharaoh holding down the poor, not a sense of people trumpeting themselves up as the high ones, and not paying attention to the good of all. That no person should be hungry. This has been part of Scripture for 5,000 years. So I brought a bunch of people here just to say, we are with you, Occupy movement, absolutely. And God is with you even if you don't believe in God.
The reason I'm here is because I've watched the Senate show itself to be absolutely incapable of dealing with the problems of this country. I mean, this past week, for example, you have a job bill presented to the Senate. It is a bill that is based upon ideas that the Republicans professed to support in the past, and now apparently because it comes from Obama, the Republicans will not even allow the Senate to vote on the measure. When that happens, at a time when you have maybe 25 million people who are not fully employed, then this country ceases to function. This is a nation for the people, and yet we have a Senate that is anything but for the people. The banks have been able to buy the Senate literally because the senators are campaigning every single day that they're in office rather than legislating. And what you see is that the senators, if Obama comes in with a bill to improve employment in this country, and there are parts of it that they don't like, then fine. Sit down at the table, say, I don't like this or I don't like that, but accept the overall premise, as we must, that something should be done to give people jobs. Maybe we go back to the WPA that we had in the time of Roosevelt. Here in Washington, the WPA was responsible for building this huge network of irrigation systems that we have along the Columbia River. Put shovels in people's hands, let them go dig, and in the end we have the people themselves getting the dignity of full labor at the same time that we're building something for the future, and yet nothing is being done in the Senate for that. That's why I'm here. I'm frustrated. I think all of the people that are here share the same kind of frustration that we want something to be done. The people we elect should be doing something for us. We need to know where they stand, up or down, then we can choose to vote for them or not. But when they hide behind the filibuster rule, then we cease to have any means of controlling them. We've lost control of our democracy.
Hi, my name's Jean. I'm a teacher of English as a second language, and I'm here because I feel that the squeeze is on ordinary people, and we're being told that there isn't enough money for things like education and healthcare and social services, but I don't believe that's true. I think there's a lot of money that's going to waste, billions that's going to waste on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and a lot of money that went to bail out banks and corporations and never went to help ordinary people who are struggling with mortgages or student loans or just don't have jobs and are really falling on hard times. So I don't see it as just the idea that the economy is poor right now and so everybody has to suffer, because everybody isn't suffering. It's just people, kind of us at the bottom, who are suffering. And I think that if the income were distributed more fairly, there would be enough for people to live decently, instead of people having to be sick and go without health care, or people who want to learn going without education, or people going without homes. I just don't think that it has to be that way. And it's hard for people to find the time or the energy when things are this hard to do something. So I think it's really exciting to see finally people getting out into the streets and taking some action, because I think that's what it takes, is people getting together and maybe not doing it always through the channels that we're told are the only way that we can work, like voting for a certain candidate, because I think the candidates from both parties, the politicians, aren't doing anything for us, and people see that and just have decided we need to do something for ourselves. So that's why I'm here.
I'm actually a Microsoftie. I came to Seattle like 12 years ago. Work at Microsoft, have a good job, have noticed the screwing of America, and I'm very happy to see the people are out and the people are mad, and they're calling out one of the parties that are responsible, which are the big bankers. I am a little worried because I still don't see a lot of focus on the Fed in this movement. I'm worried about it being co-opted by the D's, you know, and the mainstream media trying to co-opt it with spokesmen from parties that have contributed to this problem. Both parties have contributed completely to the problem. We all know that the big white elephant in the room that everybody refuses to acknowledge is the Federal Reserve. Right, the Federal Reserve kept the low interest rates. The Federal Reserve is in charge of securing the financial system. The Federal Reserve has a lot of the parties that caused this mess. You know, by allowing these financial derivatives to be sold around the world. You know, creating this massive bubble with low interest rates, and then sweeping up the assets, and then enabling the government to continue to go into debt. It's ridiculous. I'm here because I'm mad. I'm here because I can see what's happening in my nation, in my world. You know, I can see this. People are being tricked by fiat money currency. At the same time, in every civilized nation, they've outsourced the jobs. They've outsourced them to slave labor places where the people aren't free, and the people are being, and these global corporations are allowed to take advantage of slave labor, ship the products back to the countries where they were founded, where the companies were founded, and the people are just supposed to, I guess, go to Walmart and buy shit until they can't eat anymore. And then what are they supposed to do? They just become serfs? Are we going to go back to serfdom? Is that the answer? Because globalization's not working. And we have complete corruption everywhere. You see, as a result of Fukushima, you don't see the government regulating that, acting properly. The Japanese government, you don't see our government responding. This is a global crisis. Same thing with the oil platform. Same thing with, you know, everything. Everywhere we look, we don't see the government behaving sanely. They're behaving insanely because they're corrupt. And this corruption starts with our financial system. It starts with that money being in control of our in control of our political system, and I also think it starts with the people. The people are also zombies, and this is why I'm glad to see people awake. Because when we were all watching Dancing with the Stars, and we were flipping our flipping our houses, we were all good. We didn't give a shit about the world. We didn't give a shit about each other. You know, now that system's all gone, you know, we're all like, fuck, we got to do something.